and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first, and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you bash controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you, because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race. I know you don't like me saying that, but I'm not the kind of person who come here to say what you like. I'm going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not.
The United States of America is the most successful nation the world has ever known. And I think that's largely because we're the freest nation. Humans cannot reach their potential, cannot realize their dreams unless they're free.
If prosperity were easy, everybody around the world would be prosperous. If freedom were easy, everybody around the world would be free. If security were easy, everybody around the world would be secure. They are not. None of this is going to be easy. But this is the United States of America. It takes an extraordinary effort. It takes extraordinary commitment. It takes extraordinary strength. The Valley Forge wasn't easy. Going to the moon wasn't easy. Settling the West wasn't easy. We are the American people. We have seen difficulties before, and we always overcome. This is about rolling up our sleeves. We might have some differences, but at Americans putting our head down and getting it done.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Today, I'm very proud of myself.
Newsmax calls him a top 50 most influential black Republican in the country. Liberals call him. The president calls him Wayne.
We do love Wayne, right? We love Wayne, right?
Broadcasting live from the We Are America radio studios in Washington, D.C. This is the Wayne Dupree Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wayne Dupree Show. I'm your host, Wayne Dupree, along with Hutch Bailey Jr. on the other line. Hutch is in the Pittsburgh studio, and you are looking at, well, you know, we call this the Brickhouse studio. Hutch, you on the line, right?
I am on the line, my man.
All right, take over for a couple seconds. I got to share this on social media.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wayne Dupree program. Coming to you Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m., and also on Saturday. Sometimes on Saturday it lasts a little longer, but we're normally a 1-hour program. And we have a special guest for you this evening, and we're going to talk about all of the absolutely crazy things going on in the news. I am Hutch Bailey Jr., currently in my mountaintop headquarters, studio number 2. So I might sound just a little bit different, but I shouldn't sound that much different. All kinds of things going on. Don't know if we're about ready to be in another Middle East war or not.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
It does look like it, and people are chiming in on both sides, and I have to say I have to give Tucker Carlson credit.
Me too.
You wrote the story up. He's not giving in, and neither am I.
Yeah, me neither. Go ahead, keep on. I'm still sharing, man. I'm just agreeing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on so many platforms. I don't know of any other show that does this live. Obviously, you can get shows in podcast format, but Wayne will tell you, because it changes all the time, how many live streams are going on tonight. I'm sure for him asking me to do this that there's a lot of them, and he's going to tell you about them. But it's
on the screen.
I don't have all my screens up because
Okay.
I'm trying to save bandwidth over here. But
Okay.
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can look at it on your screen and see all the different places where we are. I see the Super Hertz coming up. We're on the Political Insider, Spreaker, Facebook, Vimeo, Patreon. A couple that I don't recognize that end, but
Yeah, that's the New Right Network, Red State Talk Radio, and then you got Periscope is over there. We're gonna be leaving Periscope soon. I just don't like the way things are going on Periscope anymore. So that's how that is. So
we're being throttled.
yeah, for all those that are watching Periscope, I have put the links and those links work. So, I mean, if anybody is telling you that the links aren't working, the links are working right now. So if you take those links and you put them in a URL window or you put them in your browser window, they do work. Okay. We are up live on Vimeo. And the link, it's on my Twitter account. You can also find it in the chat rooms, but the links do work. So I don't know what else to tell you about that, other than when you do get to it, you can share it. Okay, you can share it now. Hutch was talking about the Syria thing. What do you know about Syria right now, Hutch? Go. While I'm still
Just
sharing.
that I hear a lot of people talking about it. I haven't really had a chance to dig deep into it. I had a whole lot of other things going on, but it seems to me that the narrative is almost like it's not if, it's when. I thought that and I'm going to get some hate mail. Don't send it to Wayne. Send it to me. I thought for the first time, I really didn't appreciate the president's tweet.
My God.
I didn't like that.
I woke up this morning. I was like, wait a minute. Hey, that's a little bit, that's a whole lot of too much, man.
I did 33 years of the Army, and when I saw that, I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
play around
man.
with politics. Don't play around with this.
I was like, oh, man. I mean, I even quoted this tweet. I was like, oh, man, really? No, man. And then you had the media going back, all over the tweet this morning, And,
he opened himself up. You're right. I almost called you on the way up here when I heard that.
Yeah, I was kind of hurt. I ain't gonna lie. I was hurt with that tweet this morning. President Trump, I was hurt with the tweet this morning. And I know some of the followers are gonna say, no, we love it. We love it. We need it and everything. No, not that one. Not that one, because first things first, President Trump said that he would never tell anybody what he was going to do when he was going to do it. Now, I know that the tweet didn't say when he was going to do it, but you already know something's going to happen this weekend because they canceled their trips. They canceled their trips. Mattis canceled his trip. Trump canceled his trip. Well,
I just hope that the deep state isn't too deeply embedded, and I hope they get the truth. When things like this happen, when you see this big orchestrated situation, we talked about the white helmets, and so many people believe in it. We talked about McCain and Graham and their trips over there and siding with the Muslim Brotherhood. There's just so many different tentacles in this.
Somebody said,
and the way it looks, Tucker said a mouthful when he said, I think it was Tucker that said this, when everybody's agreeing on something, something's wrong.
Something's wrong, yeah. Sandra Barnes in the on the Political Insider chat room said he did the same kind of shock factor with Little Kim. I don't know. No, it wasn't like this.
There's a big difference between Little Kim and Russia.
Yeah, you add that superpower in there. Little Kim is Little Kim, but you add Russia in there. You be all right, Pat. Our missiles are coming. That's what he said. Our missiles are coming. Damn.
Yeah, I was a little nervous when I heard that. I'm hoping this is like the fourth dimension of some chess or something.
I don't know.
I don't see how it is, but he's a smart guy, so I just hope he lived through the Cold War more years than me.
President Trump is a smart guy. He just has war hawks around him right now.
I think the same thing.
He has war hawks around him.
to be honest with you, I think the people that are doing that to his detriment.
I agree. I mean, I think that Lindsey Graham is the worst person close to Trump's ear. I don't think he has Trump's ear, but I think he's the worst person that's close to Trump's ear. And somebody is telling Trump some stuff, and I just hope they get it right, because you told us about chlorine gas last week. I was thinking about that the whole time that they're talking about gas and this gas and that gas, and they don't even know what gas it was. They don't even know what gas if it was gas.
I mean, you can do a lot with pictures and video.
Oh yeah,
especially when you own the camera.
Right.
You know, those white helmets. I mean, they were misreporting throughout this whole thing. And if Bashar al-Assad goes, who then?
Exactly.
Who are we going to give it to ISIS?
Who is going to replace Assad? I mean, because if you don't put anybody in there, you can have the same thing that happened in Egypt or Libya. Yeah, well, Egypt and Libya, when Barack Obama took out the leaders, and then they just had chaos for years. You remember that?
I do. And if you look at what he did, he took out the secular leaders.
Yeah.
He took out the leaders that weren't Muslim Brotherhood. He took out Colonel Gaddafi, and he took out Hosni Mubarak, both leaders in the military.
Yep.
And they didn't tolerate any of the Islamist stuff. As a matter of fact, the Muslim Brotherhood was illegal. They had to get Mohammed Morsi out of jail. And it's like he went around the world to try to increase the chances of a caliphate occurring. Did a pretty good job, too.
We need to be right. We need to be right on this, because I don't think this. I mean, this is not going to end real easy. This is not going to end easy. This is not going to end beautiful at all. I just don't like it. I don't like it, but then I don't have to like it because I'm not in charge. I'm just a, we just come on here and talk radio. It's not.
That's it.
But let's see. It looked like Dan was trying to get on, but he can try again. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Chad Prather, who's going to be joining us real soon. Some of you listen to his radio show, and you've seen him on Fox and Friends in the morning. He's been touring for a while, going to the heartland, talking to Americans, and we want to talk to him about the news. Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan is getting ready to roll out. And Paul Ryan is leaving under $3 trillion of spending. That's right.
What do we hear? McCarthy and Scalise. Yeah. It's like just put another guy in there that's going to be the same way.
I want Meadows.
Somebody like that. Somebody dynamic.
Yeah, I want Meadows.
I'd like to see Gohmert in there.
Yeah. I mean, we need a conservative in there. I tell you that.
Absolutely.
We need a conservative in there. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Hey, Dan, go ahead. You're live. Go.
Hey, what's up, Wayne? Well, Wayne, I'm just calling in real quick. What you said is, if something happens, should something happen, who's going to take over? The Middle East, Iraq is a case study for that. So what's the point of doing it? And I like what you said about pictures, and it could all be manipulated.
Yeah.
But then we don't know. I mean, we don't know the intel either. So I'm not really sure. But all I know is it's all hands on deck, all employees. Like, there's no vacations allowed.
No,
they were supposed to go on vacation. He had to come back.
Yeah, they are. Right now they're looking.
There's some kind of round table going on.
They're looking to make some noise, and they're looking to make some huge noise, and they're looking at laying the land to waste. I was watching somebody on TV. I don't know who it was. Ari Fleischer. Ari Fleischer was like, if it were me, I would hit his palace. I would make him homeless, like all the other people in the country is homeless. I would make him homeless. Like, wow. You don't even know who put the bomb up there, or bomb, or whatever it is. You don't even know. You know.
Yeah. No.
But that's just how it is, man. I don't want us to get it wrong. I don't want it. And it looks like they're going to do what they're going to do, and all we have to do is sit back and watch. I saw that Russia moved their ships too. I saw that. I think I lost Hutch. I don't know where Hutch is.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. They have a full Navy and a full Air Force. I mean, we take Assad out. What's to say that Russia doesn't take the president of South Korea out? That's the thing. You're not dealing with an Iraq or a Vietnam or even a Korea here. This is a superpower. And they've allied themselves with Syria, which they've been Syria's ally ever since I've been paying attention, even when the Soviet Union was here. That's not anything new. So that's what makes me nervous. I mean, this isn't the same thing as rattling a saber in Afghanistan or at North Korea. This is the former Soviet Union. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't stand up to them, but we certainly shouldn't just make ridiculous tweets to them.
But then again, stand up to them. They haven't done anything to us.
I know.
So, I mean, anybody is saying that we should stand up to Russia. What? What?
Yeah, you know what, Lindsey Graham, tell me what Syria did to the United States.
Yeah, or did to you?
Because I could tell you what Iran did.
Or did to you, Lindsey? What did Syria do to you? Did they? I mean, because we never see him with a woman anyway. So what? Did they take his? Did they take his lover? Did they? Well, actually, John McCain is in there. So, but did they take his woman? Did they hurt his feelings? Did they take his McDonald's French fries or something? I don't know. What did Syria do to Lindsey Graham and John McCain? Seriously.
I mean, it was like all of a sudden, this is our public enemy number one. It was overnight. Nobody said a doggone word about Assad since he took over from his father. And matter of fact, I think I saw John Kerry. Didn't he go over there?
Yeah. Oh, John Kerry went over there and said, they don't have no more chemical weapons. Nope. We didn't took care of it. They ain't got no more chemical weapons. Oh, Frankenstein. Ladies and gentlemen, we have special guests joining the show right now. He's a friend of mine. I was on his show about a couple months ago, and we had a great old time, and I'm happy to have him on. You've seen him on Fox and Friends. He has his own radio show on Podcast One, the Podcast One network, and he travels the country. He talks to people in the heartland. He talks to them and tries to find out where they are, and he talks with them, empathizes with them, and motivates them and different things like that. So right now I'm bringing on Mr. Chad Prather. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Wayne, what's going on, buddy? It's good to hear your voice, man. I hear it. I hear it, but I never hear it on the personal level where we're talking back and forth. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah,
we don't talk enough anymore.
I know, man. But look, I'm happy. I'm happy that you said, you know what? Hey, Wayne. Yes, I'll come on your show. But I appreciate that. I have my co-host on the line, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr.
Hey, good evening, Chad. Unapologetically Southern. Thanks for coming on the program.
You got that right. I appreciate y'all having me on.
So let's just jump right into it. Paul Ryan is leaving, and as I said earlier, he's already spent $3 trillion. I guess Trump said he's not going to do it anymore. So now it's time for him to roll out. Many people out there are singing his accolades and talking about his family story and everything like that. Some of us used to like Paul Ryan there, Chad. Over the years,
he's like Mitt Romney too.
Yeah. Over the years, man, he's become a disappointment. He's major disappointment. What do you think about him leaving right now? Well, actually, not right now, but before announce him before the midterms, right?
obviously it was I'll never think of Paul Ryan without seeing him back in those magazine poses he did when he was lifting the weights, when he was showing off. I was like, what in the world is this guy thinking? So every time I hear the name or even see his face, I go back to Eddie Munster sitting on the bench there doing the dumbbell curls. And so I think that, obviously it's abrupt. To me, it seems too abrupt. So obviously here's a guy who technically, especially based on these old geezers that are sitting on these committees out here that we're seeing on TV every day, they don't know what a power strip cord is, much less what Facebook is. I mean, he's only been in there for 20 years. He's only had a 20-year career. So he's really technically in his prime. And so for him to be pulling out the way that he is makes me question what his plans are. Because if you sit there and want to make me think that Paul Ryan doesn't have an idea for something going on in the future, then color me crazy, because something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's been there for a long time, too. I mean, he had a 20-year career, but before that, he worked for Jack Kemp in the enterprise zones and all that kind of thing. And he, I don't know, he really, I think he's probably bought and paid for it. He's probably going to move on to K Street and be a lobbyist or be on the board of one of the big pharmacy companies or something like that. You can guarantee his next step's going to get him rich. But what do
you have to look at it like that? That's exactly right. Whatever he's doing is going to put a lot of money in his pocket. You do not just resign from being the third in line from being the president of the United States without having some form of an opportunity sitting out there waiting on you that's going to be huge one day.
And really one of the ways that he solidified that was by his 3 or 4 omnibus bills, because a third of that money at least is going to different corporations and different lobby interests. And they tell him, hey, you just do this and I guarantee you'll have a 7-figure income. You don't even have to come to work when they come back. And that's literally true. But what do you think about replacement? Who would you like to see be the speaker next?
That's a good question. The people that I would like to see in that place, I don't know have the potential to be in that place. It's one of those things where I'm almost tired of the whole stagnant situation. You know what I'm saying? And so obviously it's going to be a wide open run, whether it's going to be, golly, I wouldn't mind seeing somebody like a Steve Scalise in that place. Here's a guy who's come through what he's come through. He's been outspoken about it and things like that. He's obviously not one to shy away from the controversy. He's not going to change his mind based off of personal tragedy. The personal things like that certainly speak to me. So I could see somebody like that in place. Will he get it? I'm pretty hesitant to say that he would.
This Syria thing is up, and it's kind of splitting a lot of people. Tucker Carlson has been talking about it for the last couple of nights. I mean, he laid it out on Monday night. Maybe we need to wait and find out if this stuff is true. And then I guess some people told him to shut up or shut the blank up. And he came out on last night and said, I ain't going nowhere. You don't tell me you ain't my daddy. So, what do you think about this Syria thing? Yeah. Or let me throw it to you this way. Did you saw President Trump's tweet this morning about?
I did.
Yeah. What do you think about that tweet this morning?
Well, I was sitting there yesterday. Last night, I was wondering, okay, is the president going to tweet once or twice, or is he going to tweet 15 times about this issue? So I felt like it was directed to the point, as he tends to be. And I don't know. I could just tell you this: it's an interesting situation we're looking at here. There's a lot of people that we could potentially, and I think you guys were talking about this as I came on. I mean, there's a lot of potential places we can place some blame. Where ultimately does it lie? We don't know. I hate to think that people are using, innocent civilians and innocent lives, folks like that are in this country for the potential political gain or the purpose of getting, a global foothold in a way that gives them an advantage. But unfortunately, human history tells us that people are exactly willing to do that. I know that the airspace certainly is clearing up over Syria. Nobody's flying any airplanes over it. So I tell you, between President Trump and his decisiveness and his ability to look into a situation and not bow to political correctness or the mainstream telling him what to do, and then with the advice of somebody like Mad Dog Mattis in his ear, I tend to trust where he's going with this whole thing. So I wish we knew. Quite honestly, I wish we knew what the thing's going to look like and where to lay the blame.
I agree with you. I just hope that I hope with all my heart that he gets it right. You look back in history and you look at the Gulf of Tonkin incident that got the Vietnam War started, and we've been in Afghanistan so long. It's just we're tapped out right now, and we need a recovery period. And he knows that more than anyone. I mean, he's visited bases and visited Walter Reed. I just know, we were talking before you came on, I'm not sure when Bashar al-Assad became America's number one enemy, and I'm still trying to figure out what he did to make it that way. And it just feels off to me. That's all. So let's move on to what did you think about the omnibus bill? Do you think that is something that it seems like that's kind of gone off the radar and just a mere $1.3 trillion? Nobody cares about that anymore.
Well, it's like every news cycle, and I'll go back. Let me refer back to the tweet real quick from this morning. I love the fact that the president's not willing to back down to the threats of Russia. I do appreciate that, and he's not. I mean, obviously he's not. And so, like the omnibus bill and so many other things that we're dealing with, whether it's the Syria thing, because this is not the first time we've dealt with Syria gassing its citizens. It's amazing how this little fast news cycle runs us through, gets everybody inflamed and ready to argue and fight and go to debate over it, especially on social media, and then all of a sudden it just disappears, it vanishes. I didn't like the omnibus bill. I did not think it was a good one. Obviously, I didn't think, although I did see some loopholes in there where I think the president could move some money around to get some of the platform incentives taken care of that he ran on. I hope that that's his intention. I don't know. Maybe he's just looking at it saying, hey, we're going to have another thing we're going to vote at later on this year. I'm going to give them this, and then we're going to move forward with that one later on. That's not the kind of politics that I wish was played in Washington, D.C., but unfortunately, when you're dealing with the swamp, that's exactly what goes down.
Mark Zuckerberg has been on they call it the hot seat. I don't think it's the hot seat. I think that he laid waste to Congress, if you ask me. Especially, he's the only one in the last couple of days that has made over $3 billion just sitting there answering questions. So, what did you think of this Kabuki theater, and do you think that he is going to make changes to help conservatives on his platform?
No, I don't. I don't think he's going to. I think he's lying through his teeth, first of all. I wish that in some way, I wish he was under oath. I wish it was that type of senatorial hearing that he was really getting grilled. And like I said, alluded to earlier, I don't think that most of the people sitting on that panel even know what Facebook is, much less the power it holds. I think Sass and Senator Ted Cruz may have an idea there, but the reason they do is because they are two of those who have been hit the hardest by this. When you look at a platform where the president's numbers have fallen off by almost 50% in the last few months, and look, let's face it, people on Twitter may hate Donald Trump, but Twitter loves Donald Trump. He makes them money. It's the same way. It would be the same way, of course, with Facebook. But Facebook has said, we don't need the money. We're going to go after our principles and our values, and obviously the values are leftist. Now, Zuckerberg continues to hide behind this idea that Silicon Valley is some big leftist conglomerate. And that's not an excuse. What if the headquarters of Facebook was in Texas or in Alabama somewhere. You can't use that geography as an excuse. It's not the fact that he says, I don't know what my employees feel or I can't control what my employees do. The fact of the matter, here's the real problem, is that he knows exactly what is happening and what he can control, and he's not doing it. So I don't think, I think he offered up lip service today by saying, yes, we're willing to allow some regulations to happen to make sure that this gets better. But I think it was 100% lip service. These guys sitting on this panel who have no idea what an algorithm is, much less what a posted ad entails, right. There's no way they even know how to go in and give a regulation. My mother, bless her heart, my mother sent me a text message yesterday. She said, are you watching this Zuckerberg guy? Of course, she's new to the whole thing. She has no clue. She's in her 70s. She says, he's a smart fella. And I said, you know what? Nobody becomes a billionaire, one of the richest in the world, by not being a smart fella. Right. He's extremely intelligent. We give him that. But I'm telling you, he's a snake in the grass, man. And for conservatives, these sites, you've seen it, Wayne. I've seen it. These sites where you see people that number in the millions a day visiting these conservative sites that drop off by 85 to 95%. You can't tell me they're not being targeted when folks like Pocahontas and Bernie Sanders, theirs doesn't even move on the needle.
That's true.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I used to like when and although I'm not a fan anymore, they used to call George W. Bush stupid, and I watched him land a jet on an aircraft carrier. And it's like he's not stupid. He might be a lot of things. But going to, these leftists, they don't even try to hide anymore. They don't even wait any times. Stormy Daniels is going to do an interview and a photo shoot for Penthouse now, and I heard an announcement that she's going to be on The View next week. Is this over yet, or do we have to endure this all summer? What do you think?
Well, I guess it must be good for ratings. It's all CNN can talk about. We can barely find out you don't go to CNN to find out what's going on in the real world. CNN's not going to tell you the facts and foundation for things that are happening in Syria. They're not going to tell you about, sarin gas being used against citizens. They're not going to tell you about, doors getting kicked in the Cohen's office. And so, attorney-client privileges that are being, frauded. But what they will do is they'll talk about Stormy Daniels and these things. And I guess it must be good for ratings. I personally, I'm not watching it. I don't care. I could go deep into my real thoughts on Stormy Daniels' relationship with, her so-called relationship with Donald Trump. Still, at the end of the day, I have my reasons as to why I don't care. But no, I think we're going to have to hear this. And obviously, what we're seeing is somebody who she's no social justice warrior. She's going to get rich, prostituting herself out the way that she always has, and. Back to our original conversation, I hope that a guy like Paul Ryan doesn't take the exact same path.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Chad Prather, host of the Chad Prather Show, and his website is watchchad.com. You've also seen him on Fox and Friends, and he also tours the nation speaking to Americans about politics, news, and all types of stuff, actually. Chad, Lindsey Graham, we were talking about the Sierra thing a little bit earlier. It seems like to me that Lindsey Graham is it seems like he's trying to run things along with Chuck Schumer. Did you you know what? I'll move on to Chuck Schumer real quick. Because Chuck Schumer came out yesterday and told, with the FBI raiding Trump's lawyers' offices and stuff like that. Schumer came out and said, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, you better not fire him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's telling the president of the United States, don't you touch him. Don't you touch him. Almost like baiting him to make a move. Do you think that President Trump is going to fire Mueller? And if not, what else can he do to possibly put this special counsel to bed?
I always love it when I get on social media and people want to respond with some form of an accusation where they say, oh, yeah, you're bending over for Putin and you're bending over for Russia and blah, blah, blah. And it has become the mantra of the left to put something out there, whether it has a base or not. Usually it is baseless, because my response to all of that is just show me the proof, because you showed me the proof that Mueller's not been able to find in all of these many months and all the millions of dollars that have been put out there. So a guy like Chuck Schumer comes out and, with his pompous arrogance, and he's going to say, you better not touch him. You better not. I mean, who cares what your threats are? At the end of the day, you are a blowhard politician that works for the people of the United States of America. We're trying to find out, is there evidence here? There has been no evidence here. Does Trump fire Mueller? Maybe at some point. I don't know. I wish he would, because this has become a waste of time. It's become a witch hunt to the point where now you're kicking in the doors of the Trump lawyer office, the attorney's office. It's absolutely ludicrous. You're trying everything you can to put up straw men and throw these things out there. And then Schumer's going to pop in there in order to stay relevant. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why in the world are you going to try to stand up there? And I think, he said it's a disgraceful situation. And it's like disgraceful. We could go through the Senate and start picking out people that are disgraceful all day long.
Yeah.
But to sit there and say that, I tell you what's disgraceful is spending millions and millions of taxpayer dollars on this witch hunt that has to date produced not one single shred of evidence of Russian collusion in the 2016 election that put Donald Trump in the White House. That's what is absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah, it really is. And when you look at, the way they did this, the way they passed it off to the Southern District of New York, whatever they find there doesn't have to have anything to do with the Russia collusion. I think that maneuver was especially despicable, and I don't think he should fire anybody. If he fires Mueller, all they're going to do is appoint somebody else, and that person is going to get. Yeah, it's going to start all over again. I heard on the radio this morning a guy that was saying what he should do is he should just pardon everybody. And let it be done.
Blanket pardon.
Just wave the magic wand.
Yeah.
You're right. And I agree with you on that. And I'll go back and qualify what I said, because I am in agreement that I hope he does not fire Mueller. I wish that he was in a position where he could have, and this thing would go away, because it's become such a ridiculous witch hunt. But I'm in agreement with you. I don't think he should, because if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. Let him keep, God forbid he goes in there and sits down and talks to Mueller. Don't do that, because we've seen what's happened in that scenario before. Don't go in there doing that. And it scared me there for a little while, because I know the president sometimes lets his confidence get the best of him in those scenarios, and we didn't need that situation happening. But you're right. The thing it's just going to keep going, and with everything that comes out that says, okay, that didn't happen, that didn't happen, that didn't happen, a new accusation comes out, and that takes the forefront of the headline. And I'm tired of this one more lap to nowhere mentality that we've got going on in America.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Chad Prather. Hey, Chad, how can everybody reach out to you on social media?
Well, the easiest way to do it is go to my website. I do the podcast on Podcast One, the Chad Prather Show, and then we've got the comedy tour that we do, which is not really political at all. It's just an American show. It's called the Star Spangled Banter Comedy Tour. You can find those tour dates at watchchad.com, and that's usually the easiest way to get a message directly to me is through the contact page on my website, watchchad.com. Or, if you get on Facebook and you type a search for Chad Prather or Political Cowboy, you're going to find those pages pretty quickly. And I'm pretty good about answering the messages that come my way. I try to, at least. I get quite a few. But, man, this social media thing, it has changed our world. It is a 21st century phenomenon. It really is.
There we go. All right. Well, look, listen, we got to have you back and a whole lot more closer. keep us closer together.
That's right.
Okay,
that's
so
right.
that and maybe I might maybe I'm just might fly out and check you out while you're on tour and stuff. Kind of surprise you a little bit. What do you think?
Do it. Just let me know. I'll be. It won't be long. We're all over the country, man. I got shows coming up all over the country. Folks, get on the website. They'll see. I'll be close to your neighborhood before long, man. We got to hang out, sit down. We'll solve all the world's problems.
All right, there we go. We go. Bring one of those hats too, so I can
You got it.
All right. And believe me, I'll wear it. I'm
gonna hold you to it.
Okay, there we go. All right, man. Thank you so much, Chad Prather.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show, Chad.
That's my big brother right there, Chad Prather. Ladies and gentlemen, you listen to the Wayne Dupree Show. I'm your host, Wayne Dupree. Tomorrow night, we're going to have Christy Swanson, who is, some of you have known her as Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She is a Hollywood conservative. She's an actress, Hollywood conservative. We're going to talk to her. She's a mom, actress, and she's also a Trump supporter. We want to see what that has done to her career. She's a biker too, as a matter of fact. I've been seeing some photos of her and her husband. They're bikers. So that's kind of cool.
Stay away from Joe Biden.
I know, right? But yeah, Christy Swanson will be on tomorrow, and we're loading up already for next week and the week after. So we're gonna keep it coming. If you're watching on Periscope, I have slotted in the new ways that you can watch the show. I'm going to stop broadcasting the shows there, and you'll be able. I mean, I'll broadcast a little mini rants on there, but I'm not going to broadcast the shows that much anymore because I'm trying to get most of y'all over to Vimeo or to WayneDupree.com/radio live.
Ratings on the wall, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to miss those super hearts, though.
Yeah. I missed that. And now, for those that are watching on Facebook, you don't have anything to worry about because we are broadcasting through Vimeo onto Facebook, so you don't have to go anywhere. We're not using Facebook's platform video. We're not using that. We're using Vimeo to broadcast onto Facebook. So right now, you're watching Vimeo. If you're on Facebook, you're watching Vimeo. But you know what? Let me give a shout out to Periscope, Spreaker, Facebook, Political Insider, Patreon. If you are a Patreon member, I also add the link there too, so you don't have to go searching everywhere. You can just log on to Patreon and watch it every night. So it's there. It's there for you. It's it's right there for you. You don't have to go anywhere. You can jump right on there, and there you go. Those that are watching on Vimeo right now, and let us not forget the New Right Network, Red State Talk Radio, and I want to give a shout out to MAGA News Network out there for supporting the show. Lindsey Graham, man, he's been on my mind for a little bit because every time he gets on TV, the way that I hear him speak about Syria and the way that I hear him as much of I don't think he's ever been in the military. I think he wants to have been in the military. I don't think he's ever been in the military. He was in the
military, but he was a lawyer.
Well,
remember when you were in the service? Remember those military lawyers?
Yeah,
he was one of them.
Well,
he was the guy that told your commander all the different reasons why you couldn't do things.
Yeah, that's not really the military.
He never went to the range. Or
no,
that,
he's
90-day tours and stuff like that. I don't want to hear it.
He was office secretary. That's what that was.
He talks so flippantly about combat, though. I hate that.
I know he does. I know. I mean, they act like they're playing a game, not a 3D, 4D chess. They act like they're playing a game of soldiers. They think we need to kill Assad. We need to kill him. We need to kill his mom. We need to kill his whole family. We need to lay the land to waste. Okay, fine. Who's going to be president, Lindsey? Who's going to be president? Who are you going to put in
What
charge?
are we going to pay for it with?
Right, exactly. I mean, come on. I mean, and you never hear. And I mean, what? Okay, so you take Assad out of there, and now ISIS moves back in there, and or worse, maybe a group
and I
worse
mean,
than
if you
ISIS.
take Assad out, you're doing what ISIS is trying to do.
Right.
You know, that's who the enemy is. There's no win for us over there. We should get out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what are we going to do? Are we going to occupy it?
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Lindsey now saying, "Okay, now we need to occupy it." Look, we're trying to bring the people home. President Trump wanted to bring them home, and then all of a sudden, this thing, and that still bugs me. That still bugs me. It's like right after President Trump got on TV, you know, we've been over there too long. We got to bring our people home and all this, and then all of a sudden, boom.
I mean, that was one of his biggest selling points to me. I was thinking, yeah, let's close this down in Afghanistan. What does it look like when we win in Afghanistan? What do we have to do to say that we win? And there's nothing there.
Right.
So let's come home. Fly over it every day and make sure they're not, doing something. And if you have to throw a couple JDAMs in there, go ahead. But we don't need soldiers on the ground there. What are they there for? You know, if you could tell me that, then let's put all hands on deck and get that done, and then come home. I just think it's a no-win. I think we ought to get out of the Middle East and regroup and figure out how we're going to go forward strategically in the future. But I think the way we're doing things right now, we're going from place to place. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to two veterans. You're not listening to Silverhair that's never been on the field before. You know.
Right. I'm not a liberal, and I'm not a dove.
Right. Exactly.
I'm all for thumping somebody, but I mean,
Yeah.
we've been there since 2003.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Middle East.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I couldn't even imagine how much it cost.
Before that, before we were there, Russia was there.
Right.
Russia was there for a long time. As a matter of fact, we helped Osama bin Laden fight Russia.
Absolutely. If you want to watch a really good movie about that, check out Charlie Wilson's War. Charlie Wilson's War.
You know what? I'm going to watch that tonight.
That's a really good movie.
I mean, even though I don't like Tom Hanks as much, but I'm going to watch that tonight.
It's a good one.
You watch anything?
It'll tug at your heartstrings a little.
Really?
Yeah. Did I watch what?
What you watching on Netflix?
I got another episode or two of Animal Kingdom on Amazon. And then I'll probably go back to, man, I didn't watch it so long, I forgot what it's called, Lilyhammer.
Lilyhammer.
Yeah, I got Lilyhammer, and I got the one about, geez, I haven't been on Netflix in a while.
You're on Amazon right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
They got me though. They made me pay for the second season. Well, you know.
Yeah, me too. But I don't think I paid as much as you did though. I don't know why. I thought it was like $19 or something.
You got the discount.
I guess.
I hit the wrong button. I probably got the VIP version or something.
You should have hit the black button.
I know. I got discriminated against.
You should have hit the you should have hit the poverty button. Yeah.
I should have got the credit card. Every time that credit card comes up, it's like, man, I could have saved about $9,000 by now.
Hey, our friend Kat just got a Kat out in Arizona. Got a what's it called? What's those pots? Crock pot. You remember?
Okay.
Yeah, you remember we were talking about some recipes for crock pots?
Yeah.
I got one.
A recipe?
Yeah, I got a recipe.
All
Well,
right,
actually, Kat, or anybody that has a crock pot out there right now. Yeah, that's right. I cook. You don't think built this royal girth just on popcorn and oranges, do you? If you go out and get some beef cubes, all right? Get a couple cans of cream of celery. Get some red onions. Get some potatoes. You can get some red potatoes. And it's real easy. You cut up your potatoes into quarters. Put them in the bottom of your crock pot. The next thing you do is you put your red onions, you cut them up. You slice them as big as you want to or small as you want to. You can slice them up and put them on top of the potatoes. You get your beef cubes. Now, you can get, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds of beef cubes and put those on top of the red onions.
You don't brown them first?
Nope, don't have to. Then you get some Montreal steak seasoning and sprinkle all over the beef cubes. Okay, make sure it's sprinkled all over the beef cubes. And then take your cream of celery, Campbell soup, and make sure the cream of celery Campbell soup has covered the entire food or the entire pot. Okay? You don't need to put any water in there. That's what the cream of celery soup is going to be for. And after that is finished, you put the top on there and you put it on there for 8 hours.
That sounds good.
When it comes out, you have the best, tastiest plate that you have had for a while. I mean, and thank me through email or whatnot. But the potatoes will be tender. The beef cubes will be tender. The onions will be there. The cream of celery soup. You just stir that around, and there is your gravy.
That's some strong soup.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I know. I do the same thing kind of with chicken. You get some skinless, boneless chicken breast and cut it up.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a chicken and dumplings recipe. You put that in a crock pot, and then you take you can put some carrots in there or any other vegetables you want, some potatoes. You don't really need a whole lot of vegetables, and then you can I take a can of cream of chicken soup, but you can mix it up. There's 3 different kinds of soup you could use with this depending on what you like. Mm. You could use cream of potato, cream of celery, or cream of chicken, or any combination of those. You need to have 2 cans of soup, though. And then you put that in there, and then you get a Pillsbury Doughboy tube of biscuits. And you take the biscuits and separate them, and you put them on the top, all the way across the top. And then you cook that for 8 hours, and those biscuits become dumplings.
Okay. All right.
It's really good.
All right, so you put the dumplings all across the top so it covers the... Okay, all right. I'll try that.
Good stuff.
So, Kat, you got 2 crock pot recipes, darling. You got 2 crock pot recipes. She went out and got a crock pot after the last time that we talked about the crock pot. And,
oh, God, I have a crock pot.
Yeah, man. I mean, you leave out first thing in the morning, you put that thing on, you come back in the afternoon or in the evening, and that stuff is not only tender, but it has lit your house up. Your house is smelling good. You were like, man, I thought I like
making Italian sausage in the crock pot.
You make Italian sausage in the crock pot?
Oh yeah. 8 hours, man. You can bite right through it. There's no snap. I don't like that snap.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
Boy, there's no snap or nothing. It's good. You put a little bit of...
What is that, membrane?
You can either put sauce in or water. It doesn't matter. Either way. Onions and peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I brown those first.
Okay.
I brown them a little bit in some oil.
See, you about to get me ptomaine poisoning and stuff like that. But okay, so you brown them first, and then you put them in the crock pot.
Yeah, just to give them that little bit of texture.
And then what else you put in it?
onions and green peppers.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll put tomato sauce in, and sometimes I'll just put a little bit of water in.
That's
and then the fennel and everything seeps from the sausage and actually makes that water brown, like reddish brown.
Right.
But I like having that sauce on there. Sometimes I'll cook them in the water like that, and then right at the end, I'll put some marinara sauce in there or something.
Okay.
Then you eat them on a hoagie roll. And you can really you can either just eat them just like that, or you can eat them without the tomato sauce. I've had it like that. It's very good, like at picnics and stuff. Or you can take them out and you can put them on a bun and put some provolone or mozzarella cheese on them and put them in the oven for 10 or 15 minutes and let that cheese melt and let that hoagie bun kind of toast up a little bit, and that's really good.
It sounds good.
The new segment of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
It sounds good, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr. Okay, so, all right, so, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night we'll be back on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hope that you enjoyed Mr. Chad Prather. Don't forget to follow him at Watch Chad. Let him know that you heard the show, that you heard the interview, and thank him for coming on. Again, his Twitter ID is Watch Chad. Watch Chad. All right, Hutch, how can people reach out to you on social media?
Yeah, I'm Berg's Eye View on Twitter, Hutch Bailey Jr. on Facebook. I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Wayne Dupree. You've been watching The Wayne Dupree Show.
Thanks for listening to the award-winning Wayne Dupree Show, named one of the top 50 influential black Republicans by Newsmax. Contribute to the program by going to WayneDupree.com and click